Hello, how is everybody? So I have a subject today, which is alternative therapies. Five type of alternative therapies that you should know, and you may know me, you may not, but I have seen a lot of people throughout the 7 years that I have been a massage therapist, a holistic center owner. I have worked also with the spiritual healing, energy healing. I have done sex, love, and relationship coaching with a lot of people. I have just been in this industry of holistic health for like a long time. And something that I see that is very surprising is that a lot of people come to these type of therapies once they couldn't find anything else that actually worked for them. I am a certified health coach. I am a certified sex, love, and relationship coach. I'm a yoga teacher. I'm a massage therapist and I'm a business owner. And I can't imagine myself and my life not having these tools and this knowledge in actually protecting my well-being and knowing who I need to go to in the holistic field if I have a certain condition, if I have a certain problem, instead of going to the Western medicine, which I don't have anything against Western medicine, but I don't think it should be the first option. I think it should be inverse. I think holistic health should be the first option, and then Western medicine should be the second option. Depends on what's happening, of course. Everything that I'm going to say today, it is based on my own experience. I am not a medical practitioner, so if you have any questions, please ask your doctor. But I am going to speak on what I have seen for people who come with certain conditions and to the holistic field and the results that I have seen. And maybe if you're suffering of something that you haven't been able to find an answer to, with the type of therapies that I'm going to share with you today, you may be able to know where to go to find an answer. And this came to me, and I really wanted to talk about this because my mother and I, we were speaking on, she's having some problems with an autoimmune disease, and I told her that she could go to the functional medicine doctor to get some analysis, to get some blood drawn, that it will help her know more about her hormones, her gut flora, if she has any type of parasites, and just like a more in-depth look into her health, into her holistic health. And functional medicine, it is something that has become a little bit more popular, but I don't think it's popular enough. And I don't think that people, even if they know about it, they actually act on the fact that they know about it. Because when I said that, she was like, wow, it didn't even occur to me. Like, I've known about functional medicine, but it was not in the front of my consciousness about this specific subject and this specific problem and condition that I'm having. And I don't know why it didn't occur to me, why it was not in my mind awareness. And this is exactly what I personally see as a holistic health. What would we call the name for that? I don't know. Geek, holistic health, geek. I geek into holistic health. I love the industry. I have my own holistic center. I am still a practitioner as a massage therapist and sex and relationship coach. So I just want for everybody to have more consciousness and more awareness about the options that we have, because I don't understand why we don't know about these options. And before going to that, I want to give you a little bit of preview of my story, because this story of mine of how I got into this industry and why I'm so passionate about it could be helpful for you if you are going through any type of conditions that I may have gone in the past. Part of why I'm passionate about this, to be honest, it is because I do think that there's like a little bit of a conspiracy theory here in this in the health industry. Like, of course, there's people who are more blunt about the fact that they believe that. I believe that. And maybe I still feel a little bit of fear of saying it out loud, but it has been my personal experience from a different country coming here to the United States that the way that my body reacted to the environment that has been created here in the United States around our health, it was not saying that I have experience in my original country and also in another countries that I have traveled to. So I'm very confused about the fact of why the environment is not conducive for optimal health. Like the United States has a huge industry around health, the medical industry. So, okay, the medical industry. So it's just about the money. But the weird part about this is that you can actually still make money if you put people into healthy states. And why is that? Because, and this is why I feel confusion about why, if this was a conspiracy a conspiracy theory. Okay, so let's say there is people who don't want us to be healthy so they can make money out of us, right? Like that's the theory. But I see that as a flaw thought process of business around health. Because if you give people maintenance on health, which actually our bodies require, like our bodies require maintenance for health. So if you have a business model on maintenance for health that is around empowerment around health, and you help people, people will still pay for that. Because once someone experiences themselves in their optimal health, they want to keep experiencing themselves in that optimal health state. And I'm talking about the whole the whole body, the whole human health, not just your body, but also like your emotional health, your spiritual health, of course, your physical health, your muscle health, your nutrition health, your and I'm saying it that way because these are the different aspects of where a human actually needs maintenance on. We need maintenance on our nutrition. We need maintenance on our muscle health. We need maintenance on our spiritual and emotional health. We need maintenance in our relationships, which as part of emotional and spiritual health. So we need maintenance in these things. We need maintenance on our hearts, on our circulatory system. We need maintenance on our lymphatic system. We need maintenance. So it's very confusing to me of why the model of health is of the business of health. It is like that in the United States, because if we can create a model of empowerment around your health, it will be good for everybody. It will be good for making money, and it will be good for the people. It would just not be good for the making money, right? Now, I do have to be honest that like there is the truth that it may not be huge amounts of money like it is like the medical industry when you have to go and get surgery and other type of procedures like maybe chemotherapy and other type of procedures of that caliber, that the price tag of those procedures is totally different than the price tag of maintenance. Yeah, that is true. But it's also recurring revenue on maintenance. So it's longevity. And that is just such a beautiful thing of feeling of fulfillment when it is about, like, for the practitioner, when you make the business model around maintenance and maintenance of optimal health instead of treating symptoms. And again, I don't want to discard the Western medicine because obviously we need both. And I think we, as a culture, we just need to integrate these two paths as our choice, in our options of choices for our health. Because normally we don't have the holistic path in consideration as much as we have the more medicalized Western type of medicine as a choice. Most of the time, for a lot of people, still in the United States, it has been a shift. The wellness industry and health industry are growing and is still growing, and they're going to keep growing, I believe. And this conversation is for you as a client, to be able to know where to go when you are experiencing certain type of condition. So let me go over, I have some notes. So let me just open up here. 5 types of alternative therapies that can help you feel your best, because this type of therapist is not about using them when something has gone wrong, but using them when you are great, so you can keep being great as a lifestyle, not just as patch on when something is wrong, not as an emergency kit, but as a lifestyle. So the first type that of alternative therapy that I will encourage people to look into is the mind-body medicine. Mind-body medicine, it is therapies like meditation, yoga, somatic healing, ancestral healing, ayahuasca ceremonies, and anything on that category that approaches the mind-body connection for your emotional health. A lot of people don't understand the amount of impact that our emotional health has in our bodies. When we are in misalignment, when we are not in good consciousness, when we are not truth to ourselves, not truth to others, when our consciousness is not just not developed, but is also ignored. Because you can have like a developed consciousness, and your consciousness is already developed. So your consciousness is already there. So when your consciousness is there and you ignore it because of ignorance, you don't know how to approach it because maybe you have gone through a lot of trauma and there's like a lot of disorganization in your body, in your mind body tapestry of like the neural wiring of how you are wired as a human, or because you are lazy. You don't, it takes effort and it takes courage to actually go through the process of listening to your consciousness and acting in alignment with it, because we have one. We have one, and it is not separate from our bodies. It's the same system. So when we don't have an approach to life that we live as a lifestyle that includes that constant alignment with our consciousness, like these practices, we will suffer consequences. For example, I have seen a lot of people who have come with autoimmune diseases, that the autoimmune disease, yes, there is, of course, nutritional factors, there's, of course, environmental toxins, there's, of course, genetics, of course, yes, there's a lot of other different factors that can be affecting somebody's health for them to develop an autoimmune disease. And I have seen repeatedly and repeatedly, I have seen how people that have gone through trauma, deep trauma, and I'm not like inventing this. You can like Google this, you can go to other different experts to know about this. So I'm not taking this out of my, you know, so this is a real thing. How this emotional baggage causes autoimmune diseases in the body, because it's like ignoring the consciousness, ignoring the baggage, and your body being in constant stress, in constant cortisol spikes. You are in survival mode, and you are not born to be in survival mode. You are born to be in a relaxed state. You're born to feel safe. You're born to be at peace. But you can only have that if you have done your work or you have great, amazing parenting. But a lot of people, that's just not the case. So if you're experiencing like autoimmune diseases and some things like that, I would encourage you to definitely look into like the mind body medicine practices, like meditation, ancestral healing, etc. We do have ancestral healing in the body temple. So if you're wanting a session in ancestral healing, you can, write me an email or just contact me and we can support you through that journey. We do ancestral healing specifically, which is a combination of techniques on somatic healing, like Hakomi and coaching at the same time. And I've used this a lot for relationship problems, for personal empowerment, and just really feeling safe in your own body, and not being in that survival mode if you have gone through, traumatic experiences. Now, you can also go to like regular therapy, regular psychotherapy, trauma-informed therapy, trauma-informed psychiatry. Like, of course, there's some options as well. And I would say I have seen very good results of people doing the work in the mind-body alternative medicine world as well. Okay, the next one is we have manipulative and body-based practices. These are practices like massage, like chiropractic care, that are skeletal muscular direct touch from a practitioner to your body that help your nervous system, that help your muscles, that help your spinal alignment, your joint alignment, to be able to have less pain, have better posture, have let go of stress, let go of long-term discomfort chronic pain that you may have had for a long time. So a lot of people, for example, I had a client, she came with lower back pain that she has having as a chronic condition for more than a year and a half. She's a professional dancer and she also like trains a lot. So she's moving her body around a lot, and she got injured when she was a professional dancer, and she just hasn't been able to figure out how to get the chronic condition, the chronic pain to diminish. So she got a fracture, and it was misdiagnosed. It was misdiagnosed, and because of that, she developed a chronic condition, and she has gone to physical therapists, to acupuncturists, to all these different type of practitioners. And I was surprised because she came for a massage, and I knew the massage was going to be the answer to that specific problem. Because when you have a chronic pain condition, especially if you had a fracture, that means that there has been developed trauma around the area where the fracture, the injury was. And there's probably maybe a trapped nerve in that area. So combining massage with chiropractor care will have been the first thought or the first suggestion that I would have given somebody with the situation that she came with, instead of doing acupuncture or other type of therapies that are actually not specific for the problem that she had. So if you have someone in your life like that, you could share this video with and let them know that maybe these other things that they're doing, even if they are in the holistic world, they are more specific for the problem that they are experiencing, because specific problems need specific approaches and specific type of help. Then we have the biologically based therapies like dietary supplements, herbal remedies. We can put in this category like vaginal steaming. When you do these approaches to, for example, recovering your gut flora, or treating endometriosis with vaginal steaming, treating postpartum recovery, painful periods with vaginal steaming. These are herbal remedies that we use in vaginal steaming to help you. You can use this to also help you with certain conditions like insomnia, like also with anxiety and depression. There may be some sort of imbalance in your dietary condition. So just looking into this always is nutrition is the base of it, but adding the herbal remedy and supplementation to your lifestyle, especially, but also going to a specialist. I am not a specialist on dietary supplements or anything like that. I am on vaginal steaming and herbal remedies for women's reproductive health, but for the other things I am not. And you gotta forgive me because I am so thirsty and I am speaking a lot right now. And this is the first video I'm doing in a long time. So I also feel a little jittery. I don't know if you can feel my energy. It's not totally grounded. I feel I'm in the field of the YouTube. And my energy is not totally as I would like it to be. But I think I'm gonna get better. I'm feeling just more comfortable the more I do it. So I just want to be here present with you right now. Okay. Okay, the next one is energy therapies. So acupuncture, Reiki, things that this one can, especially acupuncture, can help with a specific conditions like inflammation, promoting natural healing for maybe hormonal imbalances, especially if you combine it with herbal remedies. Honestly, it's because all of these type of therapies are not one thing that you have to do independently of the other thing, but mostly it's about combining them, and in that combination you see a better result. That's why it's called holistic medicine, holistic therapies. Alternative therapies is the title of this video because that was the keyword of what most people actually look for. But this is actually holistic health, holistic medicine. So holistic means there is like different parts to the system that are treated as a whole. So when you just treat one part of the system, the energetic part, without the dietary supplementation and without the manual manipulation of the body, without the mind body connection, you're not treating the whole system. You're treating one aspect of the system. So we don't want that. We want to treat the whole system. So a lot of these things overlap because they're treating this a lot of time they're treating the same condition from a different angle. So you're treating the condition from a mind-body connection angle, you're treating the condition from a nutritional angle, you're treating the condition from an energetic angle, you're treating the condition from a herbal supplementary angle, you are treating the condition from the manipulation of body mass and body systems from that angle, right? Okay. And all of this, we can categorize it in what we would say a whole medical systems, which the most traditional ones are Ayurveda and traditional medicine. Ayurveda is what I tend to lean toward. I am not yet an Ayurvedic professional, but I am on the way. I'm learning every day more about it. It is of my interest, but I am still not a professional. But I love to still like dive into that and maybe like share with you all more of what I am going to be learning. So these are like 5 different alternative therapies that you can take in consideration. The main idea of this video is that you bring your awareness to hold this reality of alternative medicine as your first option. No as your last option. No when you went through all the different processes and this is your last option. Okay, something that I wanted to add here in the whole medical systems, it will be functional medicine. I think a lot of people don't understand the power of functional medicine because it's a combination of technology. How can I articulate that? Technological development and traditional medicine. So it's a modern medicine and traditional medicine because it uses lab testing and it uses supplementation and everything that we have talked about as recommendation for the treatments. So we are using the diagnosis part of modern medicine, and we're using the treatment part from traditional medicine. All of those terms are interchangeable when we're speaking about holistic medicine. All right. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if this was helpful. Let me know if you have a specific condition, something that you may be struggling with right now that I may be able to point you in the right direction. I always give my clients references to different practitioners or things that I am not able to help them with because I have a specific scope of practice as a massage therapist and as a health, love, and relationship coach. So yeah, there's some things that I can help out with my knowledge, but other things that I can't, and it's not for me to do that. So I recommend people to other practitioners that I know and I trust, and I have had great results of recommending people to different practitioners. Also, if you are a practitioner, like I am trying to build like a list of people that I can give more recommendations to. is almost like a directory of different holistic health practitioners like naturopaths, nutritionists, functional medicine doctors, acupuncturists, traditional medicine doctors, which normally they do acupuncture, chiropractors, other massage spas, also places that have saunas. Like, I think people really underutilize the sauna experience, and the sauna experience, in my opinion, is just really good for health. So I would never encourage more people to do that, especially after working out and for recovery, rapid recovery. That will be really helpful for you. Yeah, and if you are like a healer, energy healer, or like vaginal steaming practitioner, also let me know, like comment, and we can get in contact so I can add you to the directory. And this directory will be available for anyone that is watching this channel. That this video is like, of course, I'm doing this right now, but we're gonna come out with a podcast. It's called The Ascension Room. I am very excited about it. I think that this is going to be growing into the mission that I have been born for, that I have been kind of brewing into and growing into for like quite a bit, since I came to the United States, and I was impacted by the environment, the toxic environment of the United States when it comes to health. I actually didn't go in depth into my story, but maybe we can leave that for another day. I think you have a lot of information in here. So I'll see you in the next video.